good people. Welcome to Melanated Vibrations, a new show that celebrates the diversity and richness of Black culture. Join us as we delve into our individual mental health and overall mental health of our community. From the latest trends to the timeless coping mechanisms, we'll showcase the best of what it means to be mentally healthy. So sit back, relax, and get ready to feel the vibrations of Black excellence. Let's get started. Welcome to Melanated Vibrations, where we explore topics related to mental health and well-being. Our discussions may delve into sensitive subjects that could be triggering for certain members of our audience. It's important to note that while I am a clinician, I am not acting as your personal clinician through this podcast. If you find any content uncomfortable or distressing, we encourage you to prioritize your mental health. Reach out to a licensed clinician who can provide you with personalized support tailored to your specific needs. And your well-being is of utmost importance. Additionally, if you are in immediate distress or need urgent assistance, please contact your local emergency services. For free and confidential support available nationwide, you can call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255. Trained professionals are available 24/7 to provide assistance and connect you with resources in your community. Remember, seeking help is a sign of strength, and there are caring individuals ready to support you on your journey to mental wellness. Thank you for being part of our community, and take care of yourself.
Hey guys, happy Monday. It is the first Monday of March. Can you believe it? We are 3 months in. Welcome to Melanated Vibrations. It's your girl Dom, your host, aka the therapist. I am so excited. This is an exciting week for us. We are 6 days, count them guys, 6 days until my 1-year anniversary celebration of Melanated Vibrations. If you have not gotten your tickets, which I don't know what you're waiting for, because the event is Saturday at 7:30 p.m., $30 general admission, $50 VIP. If you're a BEN member, there is a discount, but with the VIP tickets, you will get a Melanated Vibration swag bag, catered food, a complimentary glass of champagne, and a complimentary glass of wine. There will also be the very first tasting and sampling of the Melanated Vibrations drink. Can y'all believe that? Like, literally about to have a drink. Branded Melanated Vibrations, all thanks to Big Exclusive. I'm super excited. I hope you guys can make it. You can purchase your tickets every day this week, all the way up until about 6:30 on Saturday. After that, there will be no more ticket sales and no sales at the door. So make sure you grab your tickets. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be myself. It's going to be 2 panelists who are master level clinicians as well. I'm just super, super excited so we can have a very open, candid conversation about mental health, about trauma, do a little Q&A, any questions you guys might have. I'm just super excited. So tonight's episode, it's going to be a little different because we are coming up on the 1-year anniversary. We've come up on the 1-year anniversary of Melanated Vibrations and we're celebrating it this weekend. I wanted to take a little walk down memory lane, I wanted to go through episodes that were my top 5 best memories since I've been on the network. I'm just really, really excited. So that's what tonight is going to be. So whether you're just joining or you've been with me since the very first episode, tonight we are going to take a trip down memory lane and we are going to enjoy and see where when I first started to now, the growth, the support, the outpouring of love that I have received from you guys. And I'm super, super excited and super, 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 super grateful to have you guys as family, to welcome me to be in this podcast. So As always, how is your Monday going? I hope you guys had an amazing Monday. It's supposed to be 65 degrees today. Did not feel like 65. It was a little windy. Hopefully the weather gets better as time goes on. How was your weekend? Did you guys do anything? I actually was in New York this weekend, and it was really, really, really good. And now I'm back to business. Um, I would like to set my intention. I am bringing into this space, what am I bringing into this space? Reflection. I am bringing into this space reflection. I am reflecting on what this year has been, all the great things we've accomplished together. Drop in the chat. Let me know what you guys are bringing. If you just joined the stream, make sure you tag your folks in. If you are on YouTube, make sure you go and subscribe to the Big Exclusive Network. Right next to the subscription button, you're going to see a button that says join. Make sure you join. Pay the $5. We have a brand new show coming this month, Sex Parents by Tiffany Ann. I'm super excited. El Presidente. I'm very excited, and the only way you guys are going to be able to watch it or any exclusive content is you got to hit the join button. So make sure you do that. If you're on Facebook, make sure you follow, share the page, like it, tag your folks in. Tonight is going to be a really good episode. Again, we are going to take a walk down memory lane. So my intention for this evening is reflection. That is what I am bringing into this space. We're also going to do a grounding technique tonight, and it's actually one of the first grounding techniques that I ever did on the podcast. Big exclusive, you can play the video when you're ready. I want to do a 1.5-minute grounding technique. So wherever you are, if you can do it safely, not while you're driving, but if you can do it safely, if you're sitting down in a chair, preferably, I would like to start the grounding technique and then we'll get right into it. You can place. We are going to start by taking our arms, we're sitting down, and placing them on our legs. We want to make sure that our feet is planted on the ground. We want to make sure our posture is straight. We're sitting up with our arms, our palms turned up on our legs, feet on the ground. We are going to wiggle our toes. The purpose of this grounding technique is for you to feel grounded. It is to feel where you are. We're going to wiggle our toes, move our feet around. We're going to start moving our legs. And now we're going to close our eyes and we are going to do some deep breathing. We're going to do this 3 times. And we are going to breathe in and count to 4. We're going to hold it for 4 seconds and then we're going to let it out. So with your eyes closed and your arms on your leg with your palms faced up, your feet planted, let's get started. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out through your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do it again. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let it out slowly through your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last time. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to begin to open our eyes. When I get down to 1, we're going to start at 5. You're going to open your eyes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Thank you. I hope that was beneficial and helpful for some of you. The point of a grounding technique is to do exactly that, is to ground yourself so that you are present in the moment. Again, with Monday being such a hectic first day of the week for most of us, we want to make sure that we are centered, that we are not just physically present on this podcast, but that we are mentally and emotionally present. Now, guys, now that we've done that grounding technique, super excited about that. Um, yeah, how are you guys feeling? So, we're gonna go through some episodes. The very first episode that I ever did on the show was mental health versus mental illness, where I talk about the difference between mental health and a mental illness, and that everyone doesn't have a mental illness, and sometimes we just go through things in life. So that is the first episode. I wanted to share this clip with you guys. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's watch. I want to talk about the difference between mental health versus mental illness. Everyone has mental health, but everyone does not have a mental illness. And so I want to kind of tell you guys the difference. So, what is mental health? Mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well being. It affects how we think, feel, and act. It also helps to determine how we handle stress, relate to others, and make healthy choices. Now, what is mental illness? Mental illness is a health condition involving changes in the emotion, thinking, or behavior, or a combination of these things. So let's go back. Mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well being. It affects how we think, feel, and act. But a mental illness is considered a health condition that involves the change in our emotions, thinking, or behavior. Mental illnesses can be associated with distress and or problems functioning in the social, work, or family activities. There are 4 types of mental illness, and they are mood disorder. A mood disorder, an example of that would be depression or bipolar disorder. There is anxiety disorder. Then you have personality disorder. This can be, an example of this would be borderline personality disorder or histrionic personality disorder. And then there is psychotic disorder. An example of psychotic disorder would be schizophrenia. I think this information is important because oftentimes people will throw a label out there. Oh, I'm bipolar. Oh, I'm depressed. Your dog died. You had the dog for 17 years. That was part of the family. While yes, the feeling you may have may be a depressed feeling, it doesn't make you depressed. It doesn't mean that you have a mental illness of depression. Depression comes with different criterions that you have to be exhibiting for a period of time in order for it to be diagnosed as depression. So I think a lot of the times in society, we throw out labels or we put labels on people. One of the ones I hear the most is, oh, you're narcissistic. Everybody's not narcissistic, okay? Someone could have narcissistic traits or tendencies, but that does not mean that they are narcissistic. Even with bipolar, which is a mood disorder, people will be like, oh, I'm bipolar. And then I ask them questions like, okay, so is it 1 or is it 2 or is it this kind of bipolar? And they like, it's just bipolar. It's not. It's not. Not saying that some people aren't, but I think we have to stop putting labels on ourselves and understanding the stigma that comes with those labels. Because there are some people that are chronically depressed. And there are people out there that suffer with high anxiety. And so what we do not want to do is take away from those people that really need the resources. Yes, death is a part of life. Work stress is a part of life. Family stress is a part of life. Just because there is a situation that has occurred does not mean you're depressed. It does not mean you suffer from anxiety. It just may mean that this situation makes you anxious or you feel depressed because of this particular situation. But again, does not mean you have depression. Guys, did that bring any memories back for you? If you are my day one and you remember that video, yes, we talked a lot about the difference between mental health and mental illness. Now, what I wanted to do is my next two episodes are with the young ladies that are going to be there Saturday, because I need you guys to know what y'all are getting yourselves into, okay? Both of these young women have been on the show before. The second clip is with Dana, who is also a master level clinician. Here, I told you guys Dana is a trauma specialist like myself, but she really gets into trauma. So I think I've said enough. Guys, let's just watch the second clip.
So, Dana, you have experience with this. You're a school counselor. I'm sure you see this a lot. I'm sure even prior to this, with you being a minister, with you having a preschool, talk to us about kind of childhood trauma and the impact that it has, as we get older and we don't deal with it.
So because my undergrad, of course, is in ECE, early childhood education. I saw that aspect of it, right? And then being a minister, I was over the youth for like 4 years. And so I caught them in their teenage, adolescence years. And then when we graduated, I went to drug and alcohol. So then I saw the older men and how it affects it. And now coming backwards and working in the school, and we had this conversation earlier. Honestly, my favorite is the drug and alcohol. But the effects of the trauma when they are younger is what sets the stage for where they end up through their adolescent years. And then as they get older into young adult years. So I've seen the whole spectrum. I believe that I'm most effective when they're older. Because my thing is, kids only have one responsibility, and that's to be a kid. They don't know how to self-regulate. They should not have to self-regulate. But the childhood trauma that you're talking about is called child traumatic stress. However, a lot of children who experience child traumatic stress don't end up with PTSD unless it becomes acute or complex, like you described. It's in that acute and that complex stage that complicates things in the life of the person who has experienced the trauma. So I think this whole COVID thing was the worst thing that could have ever happened. Especially those babies that were born in COVID and who were raised in COVID, because they don't have social emotional skills. Social emotional skills allow you to be able to coincide with other beings the way you should. And because they were isolated, the isolation,
they don't know how to coexist.
They don't know how to coexist. Now that they're forced to go back into the building, to be in school, to go from being at home for those 2 years, now you're going into preschool. They don't know how to respond to their peers. That sets a platform for a disaster.
Absolutely.
And if it is not taken care of or treated properly, that social emotional deficit is going to grow with the individual.
And then we wonder why people have bad interpersonal relationships or skills, because they don't know how to relationship with others.
Absolutely. So I hate COVID for that. But something else, the isolation in and of itself. Isolation leaves individuals with their own thoughts. Right?
Idle mind is a devil's playground, they say, right?
And so with them being left with their own, that's deprivation. Deprivation on any level is not good.
Right.
And so
what about the abuse? Think about it. These kids during COVID were home with their abusers. Not even just kids. We're specifically talking about kids right now, but people were left home with their abusers during COVID.
Locked in and quarantined. So people were like, the kids, they get to stay home, and school was a safe haven for those kids.
Right, guys. So look, Dana puts it into perspective. Childhood trauma, what that looks like, how we grow up as adults, the effects of COVID. We're still going through that. It was one of my favorite clips because, again, it was somebody that I graduated with, someone that is on the same track as I am. Someone that, I am so proud of. I've seen her growth in this journey. She will be at the event on Saturday. Okay, she will be one of my panelists. So make sure y'all grab them tickets so y'all can come talk to Dana. She can give you her expertise. You guys are going to have 3 clinicians there. Okay, let's just make that clear. 3 clinicians where you only have to pay an entry fee and it comes with something. We are going to be giving you our clinical expertise, our clinical advice, clinical suggestions. It'll be a Q&A. I'm super excited about it. So make sure you guys go copy your tickets. The third video is with my good friend, Melissa. We work together. She's a really amazing clinician. It's probably one of my funner episodes where, we talk about codependency. Now, I've had an episode of that before, but Melissa really specializes in codependency, love addiction, what that looks like. Melissa will also be on the panel on Saturday. Let's just show the clip for that.
So that is codependency. Melissa, what would you like to add to that of codependency? And I know it was a couple comments that popped in or 2 other signs and symptoms of codependency. Yes.
I think you did a great job dictating everything, describing everything, defining everything. As you have mentioned, though, just to elaborate, codependency can be anything, right? It could be a parent codependent on a child. It can be friendships that can get codependent. So it's important that people understand what it is, because it's not just in a love relationship. It can be in friendship. It can be in workspaces. It can be anywhere. And codependent may seem like, it's okay. It's okay. But then when you're in it, it's a whole different system. A lot of people don't even know what's happening until they're in it. And it's like, oh my God, that just happened. So you did a great job detailing exactly what it is. And self-esteem is the core of everything, and those boundaries, because when you don't know who you are or you cannot protect yourself, it leaves you vulnerable to a lot of things, and people sense it. And the minute that you think that they're not sensitive, no, people are strategic. And who they choose and who they're looking for, they know who to prey on. And I'm just going to say this, I just learned this through working. Those helplines, those suicide helplines that's on there, they actually prey. Not all of them are governed by real official people. That's also another target way to hear people's vulnerability and prey them. And I didn't even know that. And I was like, oh my God. But so many forms of, when you're seeking help as well, make certain it's from an individual that is authentic and that has accreditation. Like right now, you and I can still get in trouble, right? So
right. Yeah. And I think even that, like when you're looking for a therapist, right? It could be any, like you said, any relationship, any kind of relationship. It can be a therapeutic relationship. It could be, your codependency. It could be countertransference and transference. That therapist may struggle with some form of codependency or some type of love addiction. That therapist may want to hold on to you, and you've been in therapy for all these years, and it's like they just do not want to let you go because it benefits them to have you in that chokehold, to know your vulnerabilities, to know, to know kind of all your deepest, darkest secrets. It is unhealthy. When a son is super codependent on a mother, is defined as an Oedipus complex. It can be defined as an Oedipus complex. My issue is that codependency is not always a bad thing if you're codependent with the right person. I don't think anyone should be codependent on anyone. Let's say that we were never meant to be alone. We were actually supposed to be codependent so I think there's a difference between being codependent and being with someone because that is the way God created us. So yes, God created man to be with woman, woman to be with man. It's a whole mixture of that these days, whatever everybody's preference is. I don't care. God did not create us to be in this world by ourselves. So yes, we are supposed to be with people, but we are also supposed to know how to be without these people. So when I say codependent, I don't mean like, oh, if you're married, or oh, if you're in a relationship, or you should be by yourself. No, codependency is unhealthy. When you don't know who you are, when you have self-esteem issues or trust issues, when you are more concerned with this person's wants and needs over your wants and needs, and you're not taking into consideration what it is that you need, when you are suffocating, or this person is suffocating you, when they are using your weaknesses and your vulnerabilities as a manipulation, that is when codependency is not a good thing. Codependent people do not know how to set healthy boundaries. They don't know how to set healthy boundaries. They allow people to just do whatever they want to do to people or do to them. They don't know how to set healthy boundaries. So I think you're thinking codependency and partnership, or a unity, to be something different. Codependency is not healthy. It's not healthy at all. It's just not healthy.
Not to mention, anything can happen in life, right?
Mm-hmm.
So imagine if you're codependent, or like anyone, like life circumstances. Unfortunately, we see people that lose people all the time. So to be you can't, like, codependency is just really, as you have mentioned, it's just not in any form, because you won't know how to set boundaries. You won't be able to navigate. The whole idea of the world is for us to navigate, and sometimes you may have to set those boundaries. But if you allow someone to continuously mistreat you because you're codependent, then that can be dangerous. Or even another person codependent on you. As a clinician myself, and going back into clinicians, and this is what people is in the therapeutic world, right? It is clinicians practicing that we know may have some things that they have to do internally. When we are practicing ourselves, the idea and how I practice is so that my clients can be independent of me. I don't want you calling me every 5 minutes. No, I do not.
Right.
Okay, guys, codependency, right? We talked about that, what that looks like. And it's okay to put you first. It is absolutely okay to put you first. Being in a codependent relationship is not a healthy relationship. So I want you guys to remember that. The next video, which is video number 4, which probably was one of my ultimate favorite episodes, and I had to say, because it was a panel of like my really, really good friends. I think this is when you guys first met my sister Adairess, her husband Danny, my best friend Gab, my bro Ant. And this was a panel about dating in the Black community and what that looks like. And the question that I posed to them are, what are your non-negotiables? So I'll ask you guys, what are your non-negotiables? Let's just drop the clip.
5 more years, and Black women by 6. So those are some statistics.
Yeah, sure do.
And so polygamy is the thing these days. Not for me, but to those that practice it, no knock on you. All right. So my very first question, and this is for everyone to answer, is, even the married people, before y'all got married, what is your non-negotiables in dating? Because this is something that I ask my clients when I first have a client. It don't matter what they're coming in for. Most of the time it's for something related to their family. Thank you, Tiff, my girl. Happy belated birthday to Tiff, the only Gemini that I recognize.
OG, hi.
You know what? Not today. I'm not dealing with you today. So what are your non-negotiables when dating? So, Aunt, I want you to go first and answer this. What are your non-negotiables?
I want you to come back to me because I'm thinking about it.
All right. So, Danny, what are your non-negotiables? Before you got married, what was your non-negotiables in dating?
My non-negotiables before I got married, I mean, it was a couple, but the main one, I didn't want to date no woman that had more than 1 kid. Like, that's before I got married, before, I grew up. But before that, I wasn't dating no girl that had more than 1 kid, had more than 1 baby father. It's a headache. And I did it, and it was one of my non-negotiables. I wasn't doing it.
Okay. Any other non-negotiables that you just was not willing to, like, bend or flex on?
I mean,
I'm not even paying attention to y'all in the comments today. I'm not doing it.
I mean, it's a couple. I mean, 2, don't be in my business. Like, some girls, they want you to, do for them what they can't do for themselves.
You're not your husband right now. Fix your face, Adairess.
So, I mean, you asking, like girls, they ask you how much you make, how much you do this, how much you make. Like, I mean, why? That's not negotiable. Don't ask me that when you first started dating me, or we talking. Like, why is that important right now? So that was non-negotiable. You start off the back asking me what I drive, where I live, how much money I make. Like, wow, I didn't even get 2 words out my mouth.
Mm-hmm. So a female asking you what you bring to the table on first date. Because that's basically what we're asking. If a woman asks you how much you make, they really want to know how much you bring to the table. So, like, that's a non-negotiable. That's a turn off for you.
Kind of, because if I ask you the same thing, then it's like, why you in my business? What's your goals? What you trying to do for, like, oh, why you in my business? So why you asking me that if I can't ask you that?
All right, so that's your 2 non-negotiables. Do you got a third one?
Nah, that's it.
All right. Gabby, however you want to go by. So Gab is stated as my best friend.
Gabby is fine.
20 plus years. Gab is married with 2 beautiful kids who are my god kids and my niece. So what were your non-negotiables before you got married?
Non-negotiables.
That's a hard question.
I will say the only reason why it was hard is because of the situation of how me and my husband were. We were long distance. So it was kind of like you doing your thing, I'm doing my thing. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I was used to talking to him Monday through Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I ain't hear from you. Monday he come back. And it was like we was in different states and I was doing the same thing, like having my fun. Like, I would go have my fun with whoever I wanted to. So really the non-negotiable, I think, for us was just when we're together, we're together. That was for us. Now, if it was somebody who I was rocking with in state, my non-negotiable, I didn't want to date anybody with kids. I didn't want to deal with I wanted somebody more established too. Like in school, I was dating somebody where I was in school and he kind of wasn't. And he was just one of those students that was not a student, but everybody knew him at school. So it was just kind of, okay, what are you doing for yourself? So it was like, we have to kind of be on some kind of level together, like to build. And I just realized as time went on, like, okay, you're kind of still stuck in the same place after X amount of years. So it was time for me to just say, I gotta go. But yeah, I just think it's more so of, for, like I said, my husband, when we was together, I didn't care what you were doing 700 miles away because I was probably doing some things too. But when it comes to people close by and close proximity, it was just more so, what are you doing? I mean, I don't think that's really a non-negotiable. It's more of a preference of what, of what you want in someone. But no kids was also a thing because I didn't have kids at the time. So that was my thing. No kids.
Okay. Yeah. What are your non-negotiables? I don't know. Did he leave us? Aunt might love us. She does have kids now. I'm sorry.
I have kids now with my husband.
He said
Put that out there with her husband.
With my husband.
Sorry about that.
He said before. No.
Sorry about that.
Before.
Got knocked off.
Yeah. He said before, did you have kids?
No, I didn't have kids.
All right, tell your big booty hole. You gotta wait until 8 o'clock here. Come on.
No, he told me to take the screen out for us.
But is it my turn?
Yes. What's your non?
All right. So I had a hard time answering the question only because I think when I date a little bit differently. So I think I come in and I give everybody sort of a clean slate, and I try to learn the person and just kind of get a feel for like personality vibes, see if this is a person I can mesh with, what they have going on as far as like just backstory, as far as family, growing up, where they're at career-wise and where they want to be. And I kind of make a determination of whether I could see myself with that person. Is their personality something that meshes with me? Or is this something that I don't really see myself going into? So I think like the non-negotiable is like kind of hard because I don't automatically say like, oh, this, that, and the third. I mean, outside of obvious stuff, like I'm a person with more than 3 kids is a no for me. Like 3 is my absolute max. But outside of like that, I don't really have too many like non-negotiables that I give somebody straight off the rip.
That's generous.
I'm not going to answer this question because y'all going to be in the comments eat me up. I got a lot of non-negotiables, but we just not going to get into that. I've shared those plenty of times on the show. My non-negotiables are like, I got like a top 5. I'm not willing to like settle for in a relationship with a person. I just can't do it. To each his own. I'm curious about who's watching the comments. I'm curious to know, what are y'all non-negotiables in the dating phase? Like, what are y'all just absolutely not willing to tolerate? I think mine used to be, I didn't want to date a man with children. But I have a kid. So that one kind of, but then it was kind of more than a guy that had more than one child, because I only have one kid and I only want to deal with one baby mom. Like, some of these baby moms, it just be a lot. Is that is that for me or for him? Which one? No, I'm single by choice. If that is for me, I don't know who that was directed towards. But we'll get into that. That type of comments don't bother me. So y'all don't have to frown y'all faces up, child. Please. Again, I'm gonna stand by what I said. I said what I said, and y'all know I stand on it every time I say it. I have my non-negotiables, and I'm not willing to bend for nobody. So, and there's somebody out there that can accommodate those. So, if that means I got to be single a little bit longer, then that's what it means. I don't give a shit about that. I'm not gonna settle. See, that's the problem. Too many of us be settling and then be mad when we get in these relationships when the red flags and all that stuff was there because you chose to settle. Now you mad because you settled. No, not doing that. So that's just me. But again, all right. So that's the non-negotiables for dating.
Okay, guys, non-negotiables. Right? I told you guys I have non-negotiables because, again, there is someone out there that is going to be for you, and you do not have to settle. There is someone that is willing to rise to the occasion, and I stand by my non-negotiables. Y'all know how I feel, baby. I said what I said. And my non-negotiables are working out just fine for me. So, just a trip down memory lane. Now, my last and final video is, this is where the reflection. This video it's funny because I just did an episode on burnout, and I didn't realize that I did something similar, I believe in the first season, or early in the second season of the show, where I talked about affirmations of burnout, how to affirm yourself to prevent yourself from burning out. Talk about a full circle moment. So the last video that I have shared with you guys is going to be on affirmations of burnout. I want you guys to remember these affirmations. I understand that life be lifing, okay? And people always need us. Everybody needs something from us. It is okay to say no. No is a complete sentence. I love you guys so much. Thank you for taking this journey with me. It's been an amazing year. I cannot wait to see you guys on Saturday. Don't forget to get your tickets today. You got all week to get your tickets. 6:30 is cutoff time, Saturday, March 9th. We will not be selling tickets at the door. So please make sure you get your tickets because I want you guys to all experience such a great event, a live podcast. We are actually going to be filming the show. It will not premiere. So let me say that we will be filming the live podcast, but you will not be able to watch it on any streaming services because it's just kind of one of those things it's a secret society. All we ask is trust. So if you don't want to miss it, you want to know what's going on, you want to see the celebration, make sure you come so you can be a part of it. And then at some point we'll drop the episode, but that's still going to have to be on YouTube once you guys hit the join button next to the subscribe button and pay your membership, because again, baby, this is exclusive content. We're not going to just be giving it away for free now, okay? So I love you guys. Thank you for joining Melanated Vibrations each and every Monday. I'll see you guys tomorrow in the comments on the big exclusive podcast. Then we're going to jump on over to Thursday to my brother's show, the Ant Money Experience, okay, at 7 p.m. Guys, don't forget to go on YouTube and not only subscribe, but join so that you guys can be prepared for Sex Parents when it drops. I'll see you guys in the comments for the rest of the week. I'll see you all on Saturday. Y'all better come get this grub, come get these drinks, okay? And there will be a cash bar. I'm super excited. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, for sticking by me. Now let's head out. Let's talk about affirmations of burnout. Bye.
I want to do affirmations for burnout. So, some of you may know what burnout is. Some of you may even be experiencing burnout. And burnout can happen kind of when you are neglecting yourself or forgetting to take some type of self-care for yourself, where you're just running. You're there for everybody. You are wearing several hats. You are building a house, and then you out there with the children trying to be a crossing guard. And then you out there trying to be a therapist to your friends and family. And then you still got to go to work and show up for everybody else, right? We wear so many hats. So burnout is a real thing. So I want to give you some affirmations for burnout if you are currently experiencing burnout. And it's 6 affirmations. You can kind of repeat these to yourself, write them down. But the first one is something that I struggled with for a really long time. And it is, I can say no when it is necessary to do so. So I know that was something that I struggled with for a really, really, really long time, was saying no to people, always wanting to be there, always wanting to extend the hand. Yeah, that was always something that I wanted to do. Like, I always felt the need to like overextend myself to people. But at this big age, yeah, I'm not extending myself unless you are extending yourself back. And no is a complete sentence. So don't feel bad for saying no. No is a complete sentence. The second affirmation I want you to say is that I do not have to earn the right to rest. Okay. I know a lot of us feel like, oh, we got to get this done. We got to get that done. We got this laundry list of things that we need to do in order to take a break or to rest. This is one of the things that one of my close best friends, he is learning, that you don't have to earn the right to rest. If you are tired or feeling overwhelmed, just rest. The work that I do matters and has an impact. Again, no matter, hey, Deandra, no matter how big or how small it may be to others, it means something, and it matters, and it has an impact on everything that you do. The fourth one is I am willing to put in the time to grow. I think this is a really big one, right? We always talk about being on this healing journey, or I'm healed, or, I'm grown, or I'm mature. But how many of us is actually taking the time or putting in the time to actually grow, to actually speak life into ourselves, to actually manifest these things that we want? We have to learn and be willing to put the time in to grow, whether that is emotionally, whether that is psychologically, spiritually, physically, mentally, whatever your growth journey is that you are currently on, you have to be willing to put the time in to do so. Number 5, it is okay to prioritize my needs. It is not selfish to prioritize what you need. That is why it is called self-care, right? It is okay to say no, and it is okay to prioritize yourself. If there is something that someone is asking you to do, it's okay to be like, you know what? No, this is what I need for me. Whether it's rest, if you need to just sleep because you are feeling tired or exhausted, it is okay to prioritize that. And then the last one is I am more than what I do. So you are more than the deeds and the extended hand that you give to people. You are something special. You are so much more than just what you do for others.